of the Total R&B podcast. My name is Loreena, and today I have another amazing guest with me. She is a JUNO nominated R&B singer songwriter from Brampton by way of Lagos, Nigeria. And you can check out her latest project that she released last year called Is It Fun for You? So, welcome to the podcast, Zenesoul. Hi.
Hey,
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast and taking time out of your day to speak with me. I do appreciate it.
thank you for having me.
Of course. So, the way I start this thing off is how I always do. I ask the same question, which is what comes to mind when I say, what is your first memory of R&B music?
What is my greatest memory of R&B
Your
music?
first memory. So, like,
Oh, my
what
first,
comes to mind?
I think like the first thing that comes to mind is Truth Is by Fantasia.
Ooh, okay.
And that's because in elementary school, I would like that song was like this a song that was hot during that time.
Yeah.
And I really thought I was eating each time I sang it. So that's the song that kind of got me into I would say R&B for real for real.
I love that. Yeah, that was a big single for her. They played that record a lot. I
Yeah.
do remember that. I do. Okay, so what music was actually played at home? Was it R&B? Was it like gospel? What were you listening to at home?
Girl, I was listening to Nigerian gospel music.
Okay.
Strictly
Okay.
Nigerian gospel music. Like that's pretty much what was in the house.
Okay. And so your parents, I guess, weren't having it to have like, I guess, the secular music coming into the home.
I don't think they were against it. I just like we weren't really a family that was listening to music like that. We were
Okay.
always listening to just gospel. Like it's fine if I brought home like if I was playing Lil Wayne Lollipop or whatever,
Okay.
like
Okay.
whatever was on the radio at the time,
Mhm.
like fine, but we never like had other types of music that we were listening to in the house. It's
Okay,
weird.
so it was just basically like their preference and that was what was played basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So then what made you go the route of more like R&B, Afro beats, neo soul than doing maybe like what you were listening to like the traditional Nigerian gospel music?
Mm, honestly, when I got to high school, then we were listening to more Kirk Franklin's. Like now we were getting to American gospel.
Okay.
And then at school, it was more diverse
Mhm.
now. So as a result, I was hearing a lot more like R&B. And then I don't know where Lauryn Hill's name came from, but someone told me something about Lauryn Hill. I went and searched it up and I was in love. I was
Okay.
absolutely in love. And that was where like I just dived in deep into the neo soul like sound from like there. So it was from like high school I fell in love with like the neo soul. But like R&B that would be on like 106 in Park and
Mhm.
where like that I knew, but I never dived in deep into like R&B or music at all.
Okay. And so then for you, the gift of music, like where did that come from? Is it like, do you come from like a music family? Like how did you find out like I have something here, like I really have a special voice?
I've always loved singing. Like I just be the one yelling in the shower. Whole family up. So like I'd always love singing. I'd always have like something in my hand pretending it's a mic. I'd always be trying to dress up. Like I always just loved music, but music was never like a thought to me that it would be something that I would like pursue.
Mhm.
Like I don't remember much of my childhood, but my parents would tell me that I would like do singing competitions here and there from like when I was
Okay.
young. Yeah, but them being like African parents, it wasn't like a thing to grow
Mhm.
or whatever. So it was just there. And like it's so funny because my brothers as well are very musically inclined. Like they're
Okay.
pretty good with music. And my dad can harmonize.
Okay.
He has this like one tone he can harmonize.
So there's like one note.
That one note he can harmonize. Like his tone, he doesn't know how to sing the song properly. He will harmonize. Like that's
Okay.
his his sound. So maybe it's from his side.
Maybe,
I
maybe,
don't
maybe
know.
he got like that one note that harmonized, but then the next generation got the full thing.
Yeah, maybe. Like nobody else can sing, but my brothers can
Yeah.
like write.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, so I see the two sides here, how it combines, and then we got Zenesoul giving us everything. Okay, I see it. And so I heard in another interview that how you got started professionally is that you had an ex that got you like 10 sessions, and
Mhm.
then that's how you created your first project, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So the first project, which is Coffee. That's
No
it?
worse.
No?
But coffee is my first actual project that like I was being a true artist.
Okay, okay.
But Worth is a
Yeah.
project from just me getting my 10 sessions that I didn't even finish my 10 sessions. So I would just go to the studio, sing one take, and leave.
Oh,
And the engineer would just mix. I wasn't there for none of the process. I just sang and left.
so you were on your Whitney Houston, just one take, I'm out, I gotta go.
I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing. I just knew I loved to write and I liked to sing and I just did that and I left. But coffee, like I actually like was there doing the mixing and through like everything, like the whole process.
Okay, so then with or did you have any expectations with those 10 sessions and creating that music?
I was just putting music out there because it's what I just like always did and always loved to do. So I was just like, okay, well, I guess we're putting the music out there. And then my very first song was called Pricey. It
Hey.
was me like on a trap beat because my ex was like,
Okay.
"Oh, try trap beat. That's what's like hot." And I'm like, "Okay." So we tried it and like got on the radio. So I'm like, "Okay."
That's dope though, but that see, like, things like that, even though you were just, living life, just doing something that you loved, you didn't put any pressure on yourself, but then look what that has turned into,
Mhm.
which is a full amazing career where you're now Juno nominated. Like, did you ever think that you would get to that place so soon too?
Oh no 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 no! Like I was so shocked. Like the level of shock is crazy. I never expected it.
So when you actually released Coffee then, like what were your parents' reaction? Were they supportive at that point? Because like you said, you have African parents, they more so want you to get a career that's more secure. They want to make sure that their kid is, making money, they can live, they can prosper, they could tell their friends like, "Hey, my daughter, she's doing this, she graduated." So how did they feel when you were putting out professional like albums?
So I as soon as I like graduated from university, I did what you wanted. It's my turn. So from there, they didn't really care because it's not like I stopped uh,
Mhm.
a professional career. Like I still go to work till today. Like I
Okay, yeah.
still do that, but I do the music as well. And they are like my biggest supporters.
Oh, I love that.
It's like the switch is crazy. And the stories they'll tell me about myself is crazy because it's like, why were y'all not telling me this talent was in me from time? Because they saw it clearly if they could remember the stories.
Mhm.
So I don't know, but like they support me so heavy. Like now, like even before the Juno nomination, they were like supporting like really heavy from like my first project. They were
I
supporting.
love that. So
Yeah.
then from your like first 10 sessions to now, like what's something because you had to also learn like figure out like your sound, what you're comfortable with, the things you want to speak about that you want us to like take in. And then
Mhm.
also the music business too is like a whole other ball game with this as well, not just being an artist. So what's like the biggest thing you've learned on this journey so far that you can share? If like maybe one or two things.
I would say the biggest thing I've learned is always be prepared for things to go a different direction. Like, you can never always be like prepared for
Mhm.
anything, but be okay with having to navigate and do something differently. Like I was like, oh, I don't know nothing about the business, this business side of music, da 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 da. But I had to learn,
Yeah.
right? And like my sound keeps like I was like, oh, I would never rap on a song. Da, 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 da. I was doing a song the other day and I was like, oh, this sounds sick. So it's like never be afraid to like pivot and
Mhm.
try things and reinvent yourself all the time. So I would say that that's a big one. And also like to hmm, how do I word this? I would say to take people's advice, but at the same time, still remember like your root and how you want your brand to be portrayed. So take the meat, but leave the bones.
I like that. I really do because it could get really cloudy with all the different opinions that people give to you. I know a lot of people mean well, but sometimes it can take you away from like your north star of like what
Mm-hmm.
you initially set out to do. So I think that's so important for people to remember that. So I love that. I wanted to talk about is it fun for you?
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to know basically like the story behind that project and where did you get the name for that as well?
So the very first song on the project is called "Is It Fun for You?" So after I wrote that song and I played it for like some friends, they were like, "Whoa, like this song is so like personal and intimate and like relatable." And they're like, "That has to be the title. Like that has to be the title." I'm like, "Really?" Like that was not the title I had planned, but they were all like, "No, that has to be the title." And then I'm like, "Okay," and I went with it, and I just felt like it encompassed like how I was feeling during
Okay.
the time I was writing the project. Cause just like, is this heartbreak really fun for you? Like, is this love thing really fun for you? Like, there's just so many questions
Mhm.
surrounding like my life. So it was a perfect name.
I really like the name of that project. I think it's so creative and then of course when you listen to the first song on the track like you really get it, but it's just such a different title than what we're used to and so I just thought it was super dope that that's what you chose as the title for that project. So
Thanks
I
so
really yeah, I really like that because it like sparks your curiosity like, "Oh, what is she talking about? What is she gonna be talking about on this album?"
much.
So super cool. And who did you work with to create this project?
Um, like the writing was pretty much all me.
Mhm.
Um, then I had like my team. So just me and my team. Pretty
Just
big.
you.
Oh, I actually sorry, I lied. Not just I lied. Also, Sasha L. Henry. She's a vocalist in the city as well. And I hit her up and I'm like, girl, like, for example, my song Broken. I'm
Mhm.
like, I love this song, but I feel like I want more background vocals, but my brain is stuck. So please come. Do some. So then she did that, and I'm like, and Do Not Disturb too. Do that one too.
I love
So
that.
then she helped me with that. I got Rudy to play the horn on Do Not Disturb as well because I really want that jazz feel. So he did his thing with that. Nate Smith, who's my engineer, he brought a lot of it to life, like and the rest of my team basically.
Oh, well, I love that. Well, shout out to your team because it was such a dope, a solid project that you all put together. And it's just, even though you're talking about like real life situations and stuff like that, like your voice is just so soothing.
Oh, thank you.
Like, you have one of those voices, like, I always say to, like, Luther Vandross because his
Uh,
voice is just so nice and so soothing, like, even if he was angry at me, and made a song, I'd be like, "This sounds so nice." And I feel like you would do the same thing. Like, if you
So
made, like, a diss track against me, I'd be hurt, but I'd be like, "This probably will sound so nice."
that's hilarious. But I get what you mean.
Like, it's just so soothing. Like, you'll probably call me all names in the book, like, you know, make it sound great. I would be like, "Oh my gosh,
Thank
it's so
you.
soothing."
But your voice is so soothing too. So what do you mean?
You. Yeah, but I'm not singing on records now. I'm just talking. I was gonna bring this up later, but even like your collaboration that you did with the Honest Guy, Sunday,
Sunday,
such
yeah.
such a good song. I love that song.
That's crazy
Love
because that song was like just kind of a freestyle because we used to just
it.
chill in the house, like at a place. And
Mhm.
I suck at remembering melodies. Like
Okay.
I'm a freestyler and that's how I create my music. So I would just be doing freestyles and then the honest guy would be like, ah, that was a good one. And I'm like, what did I do? Like, what was it again? But he's better at remembering it. So
Okay.
like now if I'm like doing a freestyle, a lot of times I'll pull out my phone and start recording me freestyling because I am not going to remember the melody at all. So that song was like one of those type of moments.
That's amazing. That's such a good song. I love that song. So before we get into more questions, I do want to play a quick game. It's called One's Gotta Go. So I'm going to give some categories and some options within that category. And then you got to pick one that is going to go. It's going to be erased out of here.
Okay.
The first one is female singers. One's gotta go.
Oh,
Is
this
it?
was hard.
Yeah, it's hard. So one is it gonna be India Ari, Erica Badu, Jill Scott, or Lauren Hill?
There's no way I'm picking. Like I actually am like I don't have to pick.
One of them's gotta go.
There's absolutely no way I'm gonna pick between that.
Just one. And all their music out of here.
I don't have an answer for that. Actually don't know. Whew.
Yeah, this one is really hard.
This is literally all of them.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
I
so
wouldn't know which one to pick.
confused.
I wouldn't know.
We know Lauren Hill ain't going nowhere.
Okay, so Lauren stays.
1000%.
So India, Erica, or Jill? Which one?
I feel like Jill Scott has to stay.
Okay. Jill is staying.
Mm.
So it's between India and Erica.
This is hard.
It is.
Okay. Nobody hold this against me ever in life. Please. This was a moment where I had no choice.
Yes, you have no choice. You have to pick one. Not saying that you like choosing the person, you just
I
have
don't
to.
want to this person. So please. I guess I'll pick Erica Badu.
Okay. So Erica's going or she's staying?
Going.
She's going. Okay.
I know. That's a hard one.
It is hard. It is really hard. Okay, hopefully this one's easier.
Hmm.
It's an R&B song, so one of these songs has to go. Is it
Okay.
going to be Pretty Wings by Maxwell,
Okay.
Untitled How Does It Feel by D'Angelo,
Okay.
X Factor by Lauryn Hill,
Okay.
or Cranes in the Sky by Solange?
I think this is definitely a hard one, but just because the other ones are um legendary,
Mhm.
I think because of that fact, I'll have to pick Crane in the Sky. Just because the other ones are like,
Those are staples. Those are classics.
yeah,
They've been around for a long time. I
yes,
get it. I get it. Still hurts, but I get
it
it.
hurts for that reason.
Okay. The next one is R&B groups or duos. So one's got to go. Is it going to be Destiny's Child,
Mm-mm.
TLC, Chloe and Halle, or Floetry?
I love Chloe and Halle. I love them down. But you put them amongst the greats.
Yeah, they're more new. They
Yeah,
haven't been around that long.
that was not fair.
All right. So no Chloe and Halle for now. And then the last one we're going to do is R&B collaborations.
Ooh.
So we have Fire We Make by Maxwell featuring Alicia Keys, Nothing Even Matters by Lauryn Hill and D'Angelo, Post to Be by Omarion, Chris Brown, and Janae Aiko, or Come Through, her and Chris Brown.
How does Come Through by her and Chris Brown go?
Girl, I cannot sing.
Okay, well then I'm gonna pick that one because that's the only one I can't remember the melody.
Okay, so that's gone. Her and Chris Brown, out of here.
Yeah. If I
Okay.
remember the melody, it would have been Supposed to Be.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like that one's more of a classic than Come Through. I
I
don't
don't
think.
remember. Maybe that's why, because I don't remember what Come Through sounds like.
Okay. Well, thanks for playing One's Gotta Go.
I'm sad, but happy.
So, so back to your collaboration. So we spoke about your collaboration with the Honest Guy, and another person that you collaborated with also was Omega Mighty.
Yeah.
You collaborated with her also. So like, what makes a good musical collaboration? Because I think it's a bit of like a lost art in the R&B space, especially here in Canada. I would love to see more of our artists collaborating. So, in your opinion, like what makes a good collaboration between two artists?
I think good A&Ring, good understanding of like an artist's strength, and but also at the same time bringing the artist out of their comfort zone.
Mm.
So it's either you're taking two artists that are within the same genre and making a beautiful version of that genre, or you bring two artists with different like kind of vibes and create something unique for them. Like that's just how I kind of see it.
No, that is true. And so, how did you connect with the Honest Guy or Omega? Either or.
With the Honest Guy, it was like we met through a mutual.
Okay.
The mutual was like, "Oh, you guys both like music." This was before we even ever started music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so then we kind of like convinced each other to start. So
I love
we're like,
that.
let's do this. We can do this. And then like in the midst of us like still being like, should we do this? Should we not do this? That's when the situation with my ex happened. So
Okay.
then I like was like, okay, well, like we went to this. I think my first like actual studio session was with the Honest Guy. Like my younger brother was like, you need to go to the studio. So like he took us. And like
I
that was
love that.
like my first time like recording something. And but then like the situation with the ex happened and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna start releasing. So then I started releasing and then the Honest Guy. So like we just were pushing each other before music like the journey started. So like that's how that like came about. Um with Omega like just kind of hit me up like, hey, I have a song that I think you would sound good on, and then she sent it, and I'm like, okay, like I like the vibe, so then I just did it.
That is so dope. And they're such individually such good artists too. So
Mm-hmm.
that is really cool. So yeah, I hope that there are more collaborations between artists, especially here in Canada, because we have so much talent here. And so it would be cool to see more people come out with music together.
I used to collaborate a lot, like earlier on, like a lot. And then like people started making comments that like, oh, you collaborate too much. Like
Really?
yes, I was hearing comments like, oh, you collaborate too much. So I'm like, okay, let me step back. And
Hmm.
started doing my own thing. But like I'm working on an album for next year and I really want to be so collaborative with it. Like
Yeah.
plan. But it's not as easy to just say. Like when you have peers that are like within the same kind of space, or
Mhm.
like, let me not say space, but let's say like tier,
Mhm.
right? It's not as easy because everyone's busy, everybody's doing their own thing. Like finding the time for that collaboration is not really easy. And also there's like sometimes ego and like things like that. So collaborating is not as easy as it sounds, but
Yeah, no, I know because I spoke to Phoenix Pagliacci. She put out her album last year, Dichotomy, and she did collaborate with a lot of her friends that are within the music industry. And so she said too it was difficult to get everybody. She was happy that everybody was able to come on the album, but it was hard to like get everybody together. So
so hard.
yeah. But it would be great if there
Yeah.
are more. In a perfect world, that would be really cool if that does happen. But yeah, I don't know. I don't feel you collaborate too much. And the collaborations that you do are really good. So it's not like you're just putting out the music, but there's always like intention and like good quality that's
Mhm.
there. So
Thank
I
you.
don't know. I don't mind it. Another thing I saw that you did was you were in a short film called Echoes.
Yeah.
So is there more acting that's gonna come about for you in the future? Or
I
was that like a
hope.
one-time thing?
I hope more acting comes because honestly, it wasn't my plan to act.
Okay.
But I was following what like the creator,
Mhm.
and he posted the, I guess, what would you call that?
Like a trailer?
Not a trailer, like the, you know, when you post it out for people to see if they wanna, he posted the casting call.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So he posted it, and I like read it, and I saw like the person I ended up playing, and I
yeah.
was
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, this sounds like my vibe. But I just like let that be, and I kept it
Okay.
because I'm like, I don't act or whatever, whatever. And then he hit me up and was like, there's a character that I would really love you to play if
Wow.
you're down. And then the character he sent was the exact character that I was like, ooh.
Meant to
I
be.
I was like, whoa, I saw this and I was like, yes, but I'm like, I don't act. So I like kept it pushing. But
Mhm.
the fact that you also hit me up about this same character, I have to do it. I'm like, I don't act, but we'll figure it out. He's like, we'll figure it out together. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then I didn't, and I loved it. So I'm like, okay, I would love to do this more. I would also like to like, you know, get into runway and fashion more. So
Oh, okay, yeah. Love that. Okay, so we're gonna look out for some more acting and also modeling. That's gonna, that's gonna happen. Your schedule's about to be busy. So
girl,
we love that.
right now.
All right. And also too, like speaking of movies and film, I also was hearing that like I guess when you were younger, when you would write based on like movies that
Mhm,
you were like watching. So
mhm.
do you think or do you have a goal maybe to like write like the theme song or theme music for like a movie in the future?
Well, that would be so cool. I wouldn't mind that at all. I've done like, it wasn't a theme song, but for a commercial, Sun Life commercial,
Okay.
um I did like a background song. Like I created melodies.
Okay.
It was on YouTube to the point that people were coming on YouTube like, I heard this on Sun Life. When is it coming out? Like on the Sun
Cool.
Life like actual YouTube page. Where I'm like, it's just melodies, but like people really liked it. Like really liked it. So I'm
That
like,
is dope. And
it,
especially to have people, like, reach out asking for, like, a full version.
they were asking for a full version. Like it was to the point like there was talks. Are we gonna do this full version? Like, what is going on?
Oh, I love that. So, yeah, that might be another whole avenue too to, like, go down sometime in the future, I know your schedule is already busy. You want to add in some more acting, modeling, and stuff. So, but you have a whole lifetime to get all this stuff in. So
Facts.
that's super dope. I love that.
Sometimes I forget that. You know, well, it's not like my life is ending tomorrow. I mean, we never know, but still, like, stop trying to rush everything. Sometimes it's just, it's okay.
Yeah. But everything will come to you in time. Like just like the role with Echoes, like, you were interested, but you weren't sure. But then look who came, sending you a message about it too, right? So if it is gonna happen, it is definitely happening, whether you
That's
like take action or not. I think it will just come to you
yeah,
naturally.
true. What's for you will never pass you.
Exactly. I also want to talk a bit about the Junos because that's coming back around really soon. I think this is going to air after the Junos, but you were nominated in 2022
Yeah.
for Love and Be Loved. So, how was that experience being at the Junos?
It was a vibe. It was honestly like, so before the Junos, I was like, first of all, I didn't even know independent random artists. I was like, I'm not random, but at the time I felt like that, right? I
Yeah.
I had like imposter syndrome so bad. I'm like, bruh, what the heck am I doing on this at this place? I don't even know what happens on a red carpet, like nothing. Like, and no information is given. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if people aren't gonna know who the heck I am, at least let me dress like I'm somebody.
Of course. Of course.
So I put like so much effort in my look, and it paid off. I love that look so much. But yeah, the experience was really fun, and I was like nervous for no reason. Like it was fun. People were nice. Like I saw some of my peers, and it was a really good time, and it was a nice celebration of music.
No, of course. But I feel like it's a normal reaction if you're somewhere for the first time, especially if it's something that's new and kind of came out of not nowhere because you put in the work and you made great music. And so you're going to be noticed for different things, but just for yourself, like the imposter syndrome, I feel like that's just something that a lot of artists or people in general face. So
Yeah.
like when you have those times that you feel like, why am I here or am I supposed to be here? Like how do you get over that?
How do I get over it? Honestly, you gotta fake it till you make it. Like sometimes my feet is killing me in these. When nobody's looking, I'm like, moment someone looks, oh, I'm walking like these. My feet isn't hurt. Like you have to sometimes just fake it till you make it, and the more you like give yourself that confidence, like while you're
Mhm.
faking it, it starts to develop inside you, right? You start feeling like, okay, like nothing ever happens. Like, why am I so worried? Like, why?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just keep faking it till I make it. Or things that I'm like having a hard time doing, I just practice it.
Yeah. No, that's great advice too cuz like I said, a lot of artists they question themselves a lot, like being unsure, and especially since you also have like public opinion and it comes at you quick because of social media too. But it just interviewing artists, I see that a lot where they like question the moves that they're making, and then me as a fan of music, I'm just like,
You're
what?
doing it.
Yeah, like, and doing it so well.
I think naturally, as creatives, like you're gonna always question things. Just because to be a creative person, a lot of times we're in our head,
Hmm.
right? So because we're in our head, we're gonna question every little thing that we do, and we constantly need our like validation, constantly. Like even when I'm performing, like when people listen to R&B, it's usually straight face. Like
Yeah.
that's just how people are. But like even me, when I'm listening to somebody, and I think they're fire, my face is just straight. And but as the artist up there, I'm like, why is everybody just straight faced?
Yeah.
Like I'm in my head now. So like what I do is I make my manager, you go stand right there and smile at me. So like we're constantly in our heads. It's hard to not be in your head, but you just have to like fight through it and like just do regardless. Like that's just the thing. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Do it regardless of that fear. And like that's the part that's the hardest part. But you gotta just do it. And when things don't fit and aren't going in the timeline that you've already created in your head or you already expect, you start doubting like maybe I'm doing this wrong or maybe da 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 or maybe let me try somebody else's formula. When really and truly your formula is what got you where you are. So why are you trying else's? You just like develop your formula better.
No, I love that. And I think that goes, like you said, for creative. So even outside of music, or if you're just a music professional, or even what I'm doing, interviewing, I question myself all the time. And I look back and sometimes I'm just like, why did I ask this question? Or why did I do this? Like I get so much into my head. So I definitely feel that like the keep going is really important. So
Yeah.
I love that. Um, so what can we expect from you in 2025? I know you were mentioning music that's coming out. Can you give us some information on that, or is everything top secret? What's going on?
So right now with music, I am working on an album because everything I've been releasing are EPs, even though sometimes they're long as hell and they're albums on Spotify. They're actually EPs to me because I always felt like an album should be collaborative.
Okay, yeah.
Because all of these songs is just me writing. I
Hmm.
want other people. Like I feel like that's what brings an album together. I want to work with producers and not just get a beat and just make a song to the beat. So that's like my plan for this year to like work on that album so I could release for next year. I've been already doing it and loving, absolutely loving the songs that I've been creating so far, like obsessed. Um, I'm working on trying to build a better community with all of my soulmates, all my supporters. So I'm like gonna be starting a series called Zeneroom.
Ooh,
Spilling tea. It's
I
gonna
love that.
be Zeneroom, and it's about me rediscovering myself, and for my supporters to discover who I am. Because I feel like I just put music out, but my personality isn't really
Mhm.
out there. So I want to show my personality a little more. So I guess it would be video diaries or video journaling on another type of level. It would be with people that make me who I am. And also like moments of just me by myself. Just maybe talking about my hair or talking about life or talking about love or writing music or singing. Just being
Yeah.
whatever.
I think that would be dope because people are so interested in the behind the scenes of an artist, like how you all create the music that we love. So I think that's going to be really cool to show that and then also show who you are as a person so we get to know you like a little bit better. So I think that would be really dope. And then again, about collaborations, like who would be a dream collaboration for you? It doesn't have to be someone that's going to be on the album next year, but like if you have a goal to collaborate with somebody, like who would that be? Who's on your wish list?
Lauren Hill.
Oh.
Lauren Hill. I would be the happiest. Like I could quit music and I will. Like I want to collaborate with Lauren Hill so bad. Also would love to collaborate with the remaining Soul Sisters, Jill Scott and DRE, Erica Badu. That would be really cool. Um, I would also love to collaborate with Snow Allegra.
Hmm.
Yes, I know she hasn't been really releasing lately, but if she, comes back, I would love to collaborate with Snow.
Yeah, no, I think she's just one of those artists that's probably like living life. And then when she has that inspiration, she'll like come out with music. Yeah. But that would be so dope with Snow and also Lauren Hill too. That would be like
Ari,
really amazing.
Ari Lennox too.
Oh yeah.
Hmm
I would like that too. Oh, that is dope. Okay, so I'm gonna remember that so that when it happens, I'll be like, oh, I heard it on the podcast. All right. So before I let you go, we are gonna create a playlist. So
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot out some moods. You're gonna give me an R&B song that you feel would go with this mood. If you have more than one song, shoot out more than one song because sometimes I get people give me two and three songs. So don't feel bad if there's more than one.
Okay.
So the first one is, what's a song that always puts you in a good mood?
In a good mood.
Yeah. So like if you're having like, I don't know, a bad day or whatever, but you hear this song and like it just, lifts you up.
Living my life like it's golden. Living my life
Mm.
golden. Living my that brings me up. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
no, that's a good one. And then what's a song that you would listen to on a rainy day?
On a rainy day.
Yeah,
There's no, I would listen to that when it comes to love. Rainy Day, probably X Factor by Lauren Hill.
that's a good one.
Hmm.
What's a song you would play when you're in love?
Um, Black Like You. Who's Black Like You by?
Oh,
Ugh, let me see if I can find who it's by. Black Like You. Joseph Solomon.
yes. There we go.
I'm just so
Um,
happy. Oh my god.
and then the opposite. What's a song you would play when going through a breakup?
Love, never knew what I was missing. That one.
Love it. That's such a classic. Someone was talking about that the other day too, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, that was the song." When I asked them what their first memory of R&B music was, and it was that song, and I was like, "It's so crazy that that song is now another hit again with like high schoolers and stuff like that. They all know the song."
Die. It does not die.
Yeah. I was so shocked because now I work with like high school kids and we had like a carnival day and somebody started playing that song and the whole school like started singing. And I was like, this is crazy.
Wow, that's a classic.
Yeah, definitely. Um, what's a song that you can't help but dance to?
What?
Can't sit still. You have to like
I got
dance.
I gotta move. Well, it's definitely gonna be an Afro beat. I just can't decide which one. Bessie. Hmm.
That is the one. That
Yeah.
is the one. What's a song that you think has the best lyrics that you wish you wrote?
I was saying this the other day. Smoking in the park. Um, Tone Stitch. There's 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 a lot of songs.
Yeah.
There's this song by she's a newer artist, or actually I don't know if she's new. Ooh, Karma by Susan Carroll.
I don't think I wait, I heard that song. I heard of
Probably
Susan Carroll.
Karma. Um, I can't remember how it goes right now, but I know that when I listen to that song, I'm like, who the heck wrote this shit?
So we gotta look it up. Well, I know I gotta look it up because I probably know it, but because I know Susan Carroll, but I'm like, do I know Karma? I
Mhm.
don't know. I'm not sure. I gotta look it up.
One of my
And then,
favorite,
sorry.
one of my favorite writers right now is, I can't remember his name right now, but he writes a lot of Ty why do I always Tyla's songs.
Oh, okay, with Tyla.
Yes, I don't remember his name right now, but he writes a lot of her songs, and his pen game. Oh, Ari Pen, something.
Oh, yes.
Oh, the pen
Yes.
is crazy, like crazy.
Yes. Yes. No, that is true. That is very true. Super talented.
He's very, 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 very talented. I can't find the other song, but um, that girl's really good. Her name is Soli, but the name of the song that I really like, I can't remember right now. But yeah, Soli, the she I think she's a newer artist. I think she's from UK. Beautiful, beautiful music.
No, okay, so I have to look that up. But speaking of that, then, is there a song that more people should know about?
Ah, These Four Walls by Kamari.
Okay, yes. We're gonna have to check that out. And then the last one, what's a song that reminds you of summer?
Song that reminds me of summer.
Reminds you of summertime.
Baby, you summertime fine. I like to you like the number nine, damn. That's the first thing that came to my head, but that doesn't remind me of summer. But the line, I guess.
The lyric, yeah.
Uh, huh. What the heck reminds me of summer? I think right now what I'm listening to in my head, the lyrics can't come to me and the title, but the one with Doja Cat and SZA.
Oh,
Kiss Me More.
yes.
Yeah, that one.
Yes. Okay, yeah, that is very summery. I like that. Well, thank you so much for creating a playlist with us and
Yeah.
coming on the podcast. Let everybody know where they can follow and keep up with you, especially when you start your series, so that we can get to know Zenesoul.
So I'm on Spotify, well, all the DSPs. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Now we got Lemon 8 going.
I didn't even sign up for that. I'm getting invites and I'm like, what is this?
I was getting invites and I'm like, let me go see what this is about. And it's giving kind of like Pinterest, but TikTok and Instagram at the same time. And I'm a Pinterest addict.
Okay.
Oh, I'm like, okay, maybe I might like this. So I signed up, but we shall see. Um, and I'm on Twitter. I'm not calling it X. I'm on Twitter, and everything is just Zenesoul. I don't like to confuse nobody. Just Zenesoul.
Keeping it simple all the way. Okay, well, thank you so much again, Zenso, for coming on the Total R&B podcast. I really, really do appreciate it. I'm a fan of your music, of course, so I can't wait for the new music that's coming out next year. But for now, we got to tap into all the music that you gave us already. So definitely follow her. So, my name is Loreena. You are listening and watching the Total R&B podcast. Thank you again to my guest, Zenesoul, for coming on today. And I will be back next week with a brand new interview.